One thing that I've learned after moving into new houses over 20 plus times, I've learned that making a house a home consists of a million random little projects. At least that's how I'm choosing to look at it. There are really huge projects that you have to do, but if you break them down, they just turn into a million little projects. When we see the finished product, we're like, wow. But we never really stop to think about all of the tiny little things that you have to do in order to get to that wow. But I have to say, it can be a lot, but it's so totally worth it. That I would make this vlog less vlog and more business, housekeeping maybe. So I have a lot of projects because you have a lot of projects when you're not just trying to move into your house, but you're actually trying to make your house a home. There's just so much to do inside, outside. You have to redo stuff. It's a lot. So in this video, I thought I would talk to you guys about some house projects that I'm working on, ones that I've started, where we are in the process, and some of my future plans for these spaces in my house. Yeah, I was showing off an outfit. So this is where we started with the living room. I call it the flex room. And this is where we are now. This is where we are a month and like 2 weeks into being here. So not much progress, but the elements are here. The pillows, well, some of them, this one's not staying, but the pillows are here. I left my robe in here. This is a linen robe from Myra Pinalosa. I've had this for a couple years now. And it's just a linen robe, and it's really nice to throw on summer or winter, especially when you might just be wearing a nightgown or something like that around the house, or you need to run to the door or whatever. It's beautiful, and it has these big pockets. And it comes with a strap, not a strap, a belt. Because apparently you can also wear this kind of like a duster too. But yeah, so that's what this is. I forgot to take it up. But we've got books. We've got little statues that you've probably seen a million times. Those are my mud dolls from China, and a collectible Barbie, cultural Barbie. Got some curtains that I'm going to add fringe to because that's what this room is. It's over the top. It will be over the top. Some other things that I'm going to do in here. Obviously, I have to hang my lovely artwork up, the evening dress. I'm still so obsessed. And this is the color for the room. So this is going to be a very dramatic room. This is railings from Farrow and Ball. It's going to be a very dramatic room. I'm keeping the bar cart in here, although we will be building a bar downstairs, an actual large bar to go in the basement. This bar cart will more than likely turn into something really cute, like a tea cart or something really whimsical. I don't know yet. I haven't really worked out my vision yet, but when I know, you'll know. I'm gonna obviously have to clean the carpet in here. I think at some point we're gonna be ripping it up and putting in, I would actually love like a diagonal checkerboard tile floor. And I'm not against peel and stick tile because they have some great ones. I know that's not what my hubby wants, but you know, I'm okay with it. But this is where we stand today. Today is August 3rd. No, 2nd. What is today, y'all? So that's where we are. We moved in on June 15th, and here we are. It's still a work in progress because I am designing this space. I'm not just going to throw my furniture in here. And, you know, I'm designing it. So here is where we are. So my next big project is the family room. It's the second to the largest project. You'll see the largest project in a minute, but the family room is the second to the largest project, mainly because it's really the heart of the house, the family room slash kitchen, the heart of the house. The kitchen is pretty self-explanatory though. I mean, there are some things that obviously needed to be changed, and we're on our way to remedying those things. But this combined space is probably, for me, the hardest to decorate because they're two separate spaces, but they're also one space, and I have to make that work. So far, this is where we are. Last weekend, we had a crazy windstorm that blew out this lamp. So my husband had to repair that, and he did. I am so impressed. I am convinced this man can actually build a house by hand. Like, he gets more and more impressive as this project goes on. He's also annoying too, but that's a whole other subject. Anyway, this is the pink room, and I've decided that this whole space is going to be some variation of pink. And I know that it's a bold choice, and I'm okay with it. I've made peace with it. My husband loves it, which is crazy because I made a whole video about how people totally disrespect the color pink. I've already started putting some details on the room, like changing out the knobs on my Amazon console hack, which is not my hack. I got it from TikTok. I wanted something besides the black that they came with, and I did purchase these acrylic knobs, acrylic and brass knobs from Amazon as well. But I think they kind of disappear, and I'm not 100% pleased. The lovely thing about all of these projects is that if I don't like something, I can change it. So tell me what you guys think down in the comments. I think the knobs are pretty, but you don't see them. And I want something that you actually see that's eye-catching, that, you know, has a bit of a wow factor. Not anything crazy, but I just think these aren't doing it. I don't know, you guys tell me what you think. I have to say, though, they are very pretty in person, and I love the lucite. So I would definitely say I'm the furthest along in this room. It is almost finished. Of course, when a room is almost finished, then you see all of the little things that you need to do. For instance, like steam your curtains. I will say that I have struggled with these curtains, to be very honest with you, because I do have a pink room. And I thought I'd do a contrasting curtain just to add a little more dimension to the room. And I love these. I got these from Amazon. They are faux silk, they're polyester. But if you've been watching, then you already know that this is the third set of curtains that I have put on these windows. And it has been a struggle to just find curtains long enough with the right drape. And I will say steaming these made them 10 times better. Initially, when we put them up, I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to have to buy another set of curtains. And honestly, in the back of my mind, I'm still feeling like something's missing. I think maybe what I need to do is just go with a tone on tone. I don't know. But these curtains have come very close to what it is that I think I'm looking for in this space. They come close when they're steamed. They look horrible when they're not. And honestly, they almost went back. I almost took them down. because as you can see here, I have one set steamed and one set that's not. And they are not giving that boho look that you could sometimes pull off, like with a linen or a flax. But steamed, they're beautiful, so they will live to see at least a few more days. I also have to admit that when you start getting to the details, putting things like vases and tchotchkes in a room, that is the fun part. The books, the details. I like that part. I really do. And I think I will talk more about details in another video. Like I'll do a whole video on just the details of my rooms. This unicorn's not going to stay here, by the way, but my husband stuck that up there. So it's here for now. So where we really stand in this room, like I said, it's about 85% done. I do believe that the console, for the most part, is going to stay merchandised in this way. The lamps are working for me. The books are working for me. The flowers, the vases, it's all working for me. I like the symmetry, and I think I'm good with it. I do believe I need to move the plant on the right side, the Monstera. I love it there, but I don't think it's getting enough light, and I don't want to forsake my plant for the sake of this room. Being that this is kind of the first place that you land when you come into my house, it's the family room, even though we probably will spend more time down in the basement, unlike in our previous homes. In our last home and even in the rental, we loved the family room. That's just who we are. We're family room people. But the basement has a whole different vibe, and I love it. This room, however, still needs to be policed a lot because it is the first thing that people will walk into when they come to my house. And it's a great lounging space. Like I love lounging up here at the end of the day. Side note, whenever you move, you always find all your favorite books. And I found this one laying around, and I just love like all the pictures in here and how rustic this book is. So I'm definitely going to be revisiting it when I get more time. I thought I would just show it to you guys because isn't it cool? Like, look what they did with those marble like remnants. Anyway, back to what I was saying about the room. This room, at this point in time, this is where we are. She is decorated, maybe a little over decorated. I feel like putting those two stools there was over decorating a little bit. But she is very decorated. I love this room. It feels like a hug. It really does. And while there are some things that I still need to do, like artwork needs to go in this room because that one art piece that's there is not the only one. And yes, I'm going to cut the rug pad. I'm going to cut that eventually. I just haven't yet because I wasn't sure if I was going to have to shift my rug again. Now I have these little end tables with the orchids on there. I just moved all that stuff over there because I'm getting ready to paint the foyer. Again, to me, that looks really over decorated. Like those little tables are not going to be there in front of the fireplace or in front of the window. Although I do kind of like the orchids sitting in front of the window like that. I don't think these stools are going to stay here either. And of course, this little ottoman here is just here temporarily until I get the coffee table. But I just wanted to clean up the space a little bit. And actually, I always like to have a room that's already done. So the frames, of course, need artwork, and a lot of the things still need to be picked up. And a lot of these little things are not going to be here. But having said all of that, even with those things here, I love this room. I am so glad that I picked pink and not white, and I didn't go with a black and white space like you see a lot of people do. Love black and white, but it's overdone, especially in common spaces like living rooms and family rooms, and it's safe. Love neutrals, but I think that color in a space can make a space feel like a warm hug, especially the color pink, because not only does it feel good when you walk in, but it makes everybody look 100% better. If you want to look pretty, if you want your skin to glow, paint your room pink. just want to take the time to address the kitchen really quickly too, because look at those peaches, you guys. Oh my God, the peach truck tour peaches are here. And if you've watched me last year, then you know I had a little bit of an obsession with these peaches. Anyway, back to business. So I wanted to address the kitchen because it is part of the family room, and there are a few things that we still have to do in here. I mean, there's a lot, obviously, that we have to do. One is, remember, they took down my backsplash because it was wrong. So this is what we have chosen to go up in place of the backsplash. And it in itself is a huge project and a work in progress. One of the things we realized with our builder, some of their standard design options were wonderful, but a lot of them were dated, and that includes the backsplash choices. And I think that's how we ended up where we started with the backsplash to begin with. Our goal with this particular backsplash is to just modernize things a little bit and do something that's a little more on trend, but also still kind of timeless. Creating new trends that will last, that won't look incredibly dated when the house is 10 years old or 15 or 20 years old. Decor goes in and out of style. So at some point, some things will need to be changed. Some things will just be either really old looking or they will look like the trends that they were. And some things I think have lasting power. So I'm hoping that some of the choices that we make will have that same lasting power. But I also like the idea that they are, for the most part, on trend now. Because honestly, the backsplash that we had, to me, that was kind of a dated look. And it would have just been more dated in 10 years. And the last project, and the biggest project that I'm going to talk about today, is the back kitchen. This is where we started. We just had a rough-in and a closet, pretty much. I think in these videos I've talked a lot about the back kitchen because it is the biggest project to date that we've ever done together. And it is also a very luxurious addition to a home. Is it necessary? No. Is it useful? Absolutely. Just like the other rooms, I will do a dedicated video on the prep kitchen, so I'm not going to go too much into the details. It is a kitchen from IKEA. We did put it all together ourselves. For us, it was not difficult, but it was very complex and frustrating at times. But that had a lot to do with the sink we chose and some of those little logistical things, like not getting a certain part in the box or getting parts that didn't go with our particular kitchen, or going and trying to order an additional piece that we ordered and having the person that was helping us kind of put in what she wanted as opposed to what we were asking for. That was a little frustrating. But other than that, putting it together was pretty straightforward. So where we stand at this point, I still need to put the hardware on the cabinets, and we do still need to put up our backsplash. We have been looking for backsplashes. We found one that we really like, and it's gorgeous, but this is not going to be it. I will be trying to use this tile somewhere else in my house though. But we will go into detail on all of those things in the dedicated video. From my lips to God's ears, Scout's honor, I will do a dedicated back kitchen video. But this is where we stand today, and I think we're in a pretty good place. Some other spaces that I have to tackle, obviously guest rooms, the guest room that's going to turn into a library. Definitely have to tackle this one. My sitting area in my bedroom, in fact, my whole bedroom, the sitting area is just like part of it. But I'm going really simple in my bedroom. I've kind of had a come to Jesus moment about it because it was confounding. I could not figure out what I wanted to do. I also wanted to mention our pendant lights. I think our pendant lights have been a part of this process longer than the house has been here itself. That is something we picked out very early on, and the house wasn't even built yet. And we've had them just waiting to put them up, so that has been exciting. The laundry room, of course, we will have cabinetry being put in September, so that will be a whole process, and I will take you through all of that. And yeah, here I am back in the back kitchen. It's kind of a neat space. It's a little narrow and tight. I kind of wish that I had added a little square footage here, maybe made the living room a little bit smaller, because we really won't be using that as a living room. So I was thinking about that. You always think about the things you could have done differently before everything was built. And while it's certainly not too late, I mean, we could still knock down walls and do all that. It's too late for this iteration of the house. We're definitely going to use what we got. I also wish that I had added a window in this space as well. But again, that's just one of those things. So this is where I love you and leave you. I'm seasoning my butcher block because you have to do that periodically. And this will be the first seasoning. I have not done the whole thing, just the space where the toaster oven will be sitting, because it will be sitting there. But I will be doing the whole thing soon. And I will go over that process with you in a future video, because I don't know, maybe you guys are interested in that. But for now, I'll bid you guys a farewell, and I will see you in the next video.